All right, Mr. Eddie. Well, this is a famous spot right here, Eddie. Tell me something about what we at right now.
This is 2800 block of Erastus. This is the home of Duke Peacock Records.
Okay, people know about Duke Peacock Records. That's Don Robey.
Don Robey.
All right, and this is where Bobby Bland made all of his music right here.
Right here.
Lil Junior Parker.
Lil Junior Parker.
Oh man, don't tell me. Even the great
Lightning Hopkins.
Lightning Hopkins made music here.
Yeah.
Joe Hinton.
Yeah.
Wow. Joe Hughes. All the big
artists from just about everybody from around Houston that had records going out were recorded through Duke Peacock. We had a lot of entertainers right around this city in a little suburb like Baytown where Buddy Ace come from.
Buddy Ace made music here?
Right here.
Let me ask you this, Eddie. How long was it before the Mighty Clouds of Joy and the gospel groups come in, the Don Robey? Did they come through here too?
Yeah, all the gospel groups. Don had a lock on black gospel groups.
Okay.
Everybody recorded through right here at Duke and Peacock.
And right here at Duke and Peacock, and it's what about now?
2800 block of Erastus, 5th Ward.
Right off of Liberty Road.
Off of Liberty Road.
And all of the great entertainers back in the 50s, especially your blues, because Don Robey had, like you said, he had
Ace, Junior Parker, you could name him, Joe Hinton.
Joe Hinton, you're right.
Johnny Ace.
Johnny Ace, oh wow.
Lightning Hopkins.
All of them recorded their music.
Little Richard.
Even Little Richard came down here and recorded music at
B.B. King recorded out of here.
B.B. King recorded right here with Don Robey. Man, this is amazing, man. And we're out here in 5th Ward off of Liberty Road over here.
On the Erastus.
On the Erastus where what was the name of Robey Company?
Duke Peacock Records.
Okay, Duke and Peacock Records. And by the way, as we sit and we talk about Mr. Don Robey, for some of you that might not knew Mr. Don Robey was the man who opened up the Palladium Ballroom. He opened up the Continental Showcase. He was a great, great entertainer as far as promoting records and music. Am I right, Eddie?
Yes, sir, and I also had a part of the Palladium.
And the Palladium Ballroom.
Right.
Mr. Don Robey. And right here is a historical spot that we're videoing right now, and we featuring Mr. Don Robey, which I believe Mr. Robey was one of the first black millionaires in Houston, wasn't he?
He was.
Okay. As far as entertainment anyway.
Yes.
All right. Because he was way ahead of Berry Gordy, wasn't he?
Years ahead of Berry Gordy.
Right. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Hewitt Abner was one of his best friends who had BJ Records in Chicago.
Okay.
They were the first two black major record companies.
One in Houston with Don Robey.
And one in Chicago with Hewitt Abner.
All right. And just this little area here, all this music was produced right here. The studio and everything was right here. And he pressed his own records?
He pressed his own records.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Man, this is historical.
The big man for Duke and Peacock Records was Mr. Joe Scott, the famous A&R man, arranger and producer.
What was Joe Scott?
Joe Scott was the big man. He was the arranger. He was the producer. He was over the recordings.
Okay.
Joe Scott did a lot. He wrote the record, Please, by Johnny's big record.
Yeah, Pleading Your Love to Me.
Yeah.
Right. And then he also did a lot of writing for Bobby Bland too, didn't he?
A lot of writing for Bobby.
Oh, wow.
Did all the music for Bobby. Everything that come out of Duke Peacock that Bobby Bland had, Joe Scott was the man behind it. Everything behind Junior Parker.
Lil Junior Parker, man. Yeah. And some of you young people don't know who Lil Junior Parker is. No. Well, that's the cousin of Al Green. That's Al Green's uncle, if I'm not mistaken.
It's cousin. Al Braggs was also there, man. Cigarette and coffee. Would work with the Bobby Bland show.
Oh, wow. All of that was right here.
Yeah, Al Bragg's from Dallas, but he recorded right here.
And even the Mighty Claws of Joy recorded here. Gospel music was recorded here. Wow, man. And I even heard, Eddie, that one time Mahalia Jackson came out here and recorded for Don Robey now.
He did the same thing.
Right.
It's a whole lot of artists that have been, even Little Richard did music here.
All right. So this is a very historical
This
area.
is the biggest black music company in the Southwest during that time, in the complete South.
In other words, in the 50s,
This was the only record company.
in the 50s, this is what was considered as the little before Motown. Motown branched off of this,
That's right.
because this was here before Berry Gordy opened up Motown in Detroit.
Yes.
Berry Gordy and them had to come down here and see what Don Robey and them was doing, what he picked up his idea from. Right here. Fifth Ward.
Robey started in Memphis but moved to Houston.
Robey started his music industry in Memphis and he moved it up into Houston. And then from there on, with Bobby Bland and once B.B. King, and eventually people want to know about Mr. Don Robey. He did sell his record company in the 60s.
Yeah.
I know when I was in radio, it was already ABC.
ABC Dunhill.
ABC Dunhill, and people want to know who ABC Dunhill, and ABC Dunhill is part of ABC Paramount ABC Network TV. And it was Duke Peacock Records, and right up in here was what? But this was like the office spot up in here, Eddie?
This was right back here was the pressing company, was the shipping company. Right over in here was the shipping company. And back by those trees that was the pressing plant.
And what was the recording plant? Where y'all recorded, where they recorded music at?
It was up front.
Up
right
in the
here,
front.
Right here.
Okay. And some of the great blues players recorded music too. Here you say like even Little Richard started playing me.
Bobby Bland, B.B. King.
All of them, because it wasn't but two black.
Big Mama Thornton.
Big Mama Thornton. All of them pressed their music and recorded their music here, including gospel music too. We got to include them too, right? Because they was a big gospel music. Robey had almost 80% of the gospel.
90% of the gospel music was recorded right here at Duke Peacock.
That means 90% of the black gospel music.
Dixon Hummingbird, Highway QC.
Yeah, and all of that stuff was recorded right up in here. Oh man, the Pilgrim Travelers.
Everybody did it.
Everybody did all they recording right up in here. The Dixon Hummingbirds, all the old black gospel groups was right up in here.
Spirit of Memphis, where Joe Hinton come from.
Right.
Memphis was recorded right here.
And
left the Spirit of Memphis become.
And then you
R&B
were saying.
singer.
Then you were saying, well, a lot of people during them days with gospel singers, they switched over to R&B. Now you were saying, as far as black record companies, it wasn't but two in the whole United States?
It was two big ones.
Two big ones, right.
There were BJ Records of Chicago and Duke Peacock of Houston.
Right.
Don Robey and Hugh Hefner were very good friends.
Okay, so now, even though they was good friends, Don Robey and who was it?
Hewitt Abner on BJ Records out of Chicago.
Right, and then he if he had Chicago, then therefore he had people even like all of those great entertainers, Tyrone Davis and all them kind of people there. They all was babies coming up under him.
Yeah.
Right, and what was the name of that company again?
BJ Records.
Oh man, that's where Jerry Butler started at.
Where Jerry Butler come from?
All right, man, you're learning some history. This is the Dales. They sung out of BJ.
Yes, you had a lot of big artists. Jimmy Reed was the biggest blues singer there.
At VJ.
Yes.
Okay, now let me ask you this, because a lot of people too also come in with Chess Records. Chess was a label that came later after VJ.
Yes.
and Duke and Peacock.
Yeah.
But those are the pioneers.
Those are pioneers.
Wait, they was way before Berry Gordy and Motown even thought about it.
Probably before Berry was born.
All right, man, this is really historical. And then you said you worked in the shipping?
Shipping department. I ship records to all radio stations.
All the black radio stations around the United States.
We shipped them everywhere, even to the white station. They didn't play them, but we shipped them.
All right. All right. Boy, this is history. This is history here, Eddie. This is what we do. What's this do? Mr. Eddie Webb, my co-host, man, without him, none of this would be possible, man, because I would have never knew. I heard so much about this, and now I get a chance to video it and put it on YouTube and let young people know how much history here in Houston and how rich Fifth Ward is. And that is Duke Peacock Records, and also part of the gospel music. 90% of your gospel music